You already know what an east-west ring is the stone set horizontally instead of vertically. That's an easy part. What nobody talks about is everything that comes after that decision. Which shapes actually look good sideways and which one don't, what happened with the side stones when the center stone is horizontal, why picking a wedding band suddenly becomes stressful, whether the bow ties on your oval gets worse, and whether people are going to look at your ring and think it's something wrong with it. That's what this video is actually about. The shape you choose changes the entire mood of the east-west ring. An oval set horizontally reads soft, modern, and approachable. It's the most popular for a reason. A Marquise goes dramatic and vintage. Those pointed ends stretch across the finger makes a statement. Pear gives you something no other shape does. Two different moods from the same ring. Point facing one way feels different than the other, and you can switch it whenever you want just by flipping it around. Emerald cut east-west is the pure architect, clean lines, Art Deco feels, very intentional. The thing that separates the east-west rings that looks incredible from one that looks slightly off is proportion, especially the length to width ratio of the stone. With the ovals, for example, that sweet spot is around 1.3 to 1.5, somewhere there. Outside of that range, the balance shifts. It's either doesn't read as the horizontal enough, or it starts looking stretched. This is where east-west gets really interesting from the design standpoint. A solitary east-west is the beautiful on its own, minimal and modern. But if you want more, you have an option that actually enhances the horizontal line instead of fighting it. Small round stones flanking the center extends the visual line and make the whole thing read as a cohesive piece. Tapered baguette are even better for this. They echo the geometry of the horizontal setting and gives it Art Deco feel. Some designers do side stones cluster instead of the single for more contemporary look. And then there is the hidden halo, small diamond set underneath the center stone that you only see from the side. It adds sparkle without adding width to the top. Most people don't even know this exists, and it's one of the best details you can add to the east-west ring. One thing to keep in mind, because the stone sits horizontally, it already covers more finger width, so you have less room for accent stones on top before it starts looking crowded. Less is usually more here. This is the #1 concern I see from people who already own the east-west ring. They love it, and then they go to pick up the wedding band and nothing looks good. Here's the reality. The horizontal stone takes up more width across the finger, so standard counter bands don't always sit the way you expect. But it's not the nightmare people think about. A thin, straight pavé band works beautiful with the most east-west ring and keeps the look clear. If your ring is bezel set, a matching bezel style band creates the cohesive pair. If the ring sits high enough, almost any band slides underneath with no issues. And some people intentionally leave a small gap between the two rings and treat it as the deliberate design choice, which actually looks great. If you're going custom, the smartest move is to design the engagement ring and the wedding band together from the start, so they fit perfectly as the set. We do recommend that for all of our clients. I'm going to be honest, some people will look at it and not immediately gets it. That happens, but that's actually a part of what makes it interesting. The people who notice design, who appreciate intentionality, they are going to recognize it immediately, and people who don't will ask you about it, which makes your ring a conversation starter. That's not a downside. The key is that it has to look intentional. A well-designed east-west ring doesn't look like a mistake, it looks like a choice. That comes down to the setting, the proportion, and the craftsmanship, of course. For ovals, let's talk about the bow tie, that dark shadow across the center that some ovals have. I get asked all the time whether it looks worse when the stone is turned sideways. In most cases, it's actually become less obvious than the east-west, but here's what I tell to every client. Don't try to fix a bad bow tie with the orientation. If the oval has a strong bow tie sitting northeast, meaning vertically, turn it sideways horizontally isn't going to save it. Start with the stone that has a minimal bow tie in the first place, and you won't have to worry about it in any direction. Snagging. This depends on your setting, not the orientation. A bezel east-west ring actually snags less than the traditional prawn solitaire because there is nothing sticking out. But a prawn set Marquise east-west with exposed points can catch a knitwear or sweater. If daily wear matters to you, and it should of course, it's an engagement ring, lean towards bezel or half bezel settings. Marquise cut stones points should be protected with a triangle prongs, for example, in any case. If you have a heirloom diamond, your grandmother's stone, something inherited, resetting it east-west is one of the simplest way to make it feel completely modern without losing any sentimental value. Same stone, completely different personality. This is something we do a lot at Nineveh, and it's one of my favorite projects to work on. Zendaya's engagement ring put east-west on everybody's radar in 2025, but this setting goes back way to 1920s Art Deco era. It's been around for 100 years. It disappeared for a while, came back, and now it's here to stay because it's actually solved a design problem. How to make a classic ring looks different without being weird. That's a lasting power. Get an east-west ring if your partner appreciates the design details, wear jewelry that's a little bit unexpected, or has told you she wants something unique but not alternative. This is the sweet spot. Don't get one if she explicitly asks for a round solitaire or if she is very traditional. Listen to what she told you. If you're not sure, pull up the picture of east-west ring on Instagram. Watch her reaction, 2 seconds usually enough to know for sure. An east-west setting doesn't cost more than the traditional setting. You're paying for the stone, you're paying for the metal work. The orientation is just a design choice. Expect the same range you see for any custom ring in that stone size and quality. If you think about a custom east-west ring, we offer a free consultation where we help you to figure out what works for your partner's style and for your budget, of course. Link in the description below.